Hey there, listener or viewer. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Late Grind. I'm here with Gabe. How's it going, Gabe?
Hey, Christian, everything good?
Good,
Having
good.
my
Today we're
coffee,
going to talk
trying to wake
about,
up.
yep. Today we're going to talk about a few movies that every aspiring entrepreneur should see. Some of them we have seen them, others we have heard about. I'm sure most of the people have seen most of the ones that we're going to talk about today. So this list that we're gonna talk about is based on a entrepreneur.com article that we came across, and it's gonna be interesting to, you know, give our 2 cents on why these movies are very good learning source for entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs. So,
Mm,
Gabe, why don't you get us started with the first one?
let's go. All right. So the first one in this list is the documentary Fire. It's about that huge festival that turned out to be a scam in the end. So I think the guy had the right intentions, and he was selling it like this enormous thing with influencers and artists and celebrities, and then it was so horribly mismanaged that I believe people were stranded in the island or something. They were hungry. They didn't have bathrooms. And do you see the documentary? You watch it?
I did, and I was in shock on how you can market something that's not real, that doesn't exist, but
Right,
how can you market it to the point where it feels so real that you throw your money at it and you have to be there? It's just crazy.
right, right. So I don't know at what point he realized this is not real. It's not gonna happen. But I'm gonna still like do it. I'm gonna like steal people's money and just run away. I don't know, man. I don't understand his psychology, but yeah, I think the lesson here is be real. Like, just be don't lie. If you're gonna
Right.
sell something and you want to be successful, just don't lie. That's the one thing we can learn from this documentary. But I think it was very good too. I mean, the way he did things and what he was selling and all the tools he used to sell it were pretty smart, right? And the way he did it, the people he contacted, all that. So learn a little bit from that. If you want to sell something, sell it well, but also don't steal. That's yeah, the more the it's pretty obvious there.
Yep. You definitely, can't bite more than you can chew. And
Yeah.
also, one thing I learned from it is that if there's a someone or a group of people that put trust in you because of your idea, your execution, uh, don't let them down, because it's gonna come back and bite you. It's gonna be worse in the long run. You're gonna lose your reputation, like it happened to the mastermind behind it. So
What's this guy's name? I forgot. I wanna. What's the guy's name?
yeah,
You remember?
I don't even remember what's his name, but definitely, it's just a disaster. I remember I cringed. The part where I cringed the most
Yeah.
was when I saw the little tent that they put up and the site, because remember he wanted to use an island that used to belong to Pablo Escobar, right? And he
Right.
had these huge plans, and the guy that flew him out there was like, "Dude, there's not even infrastructure here to put toilets. What are you gonna do? It's
Just do
crazy."
it. Billy
And he
McFarland. That's the guy. Billy McFarland.
Billy McFarland, yeah, yeah. So
He's
he's destroyed. I mean,
what a
he's
fraud.
never he's never doing anything
Oh
again.
no, no one's
Yeah,
gonna even like. No one's gonna
yeah,
buy a hot dog from him. Like, can't
right.
trust him. And
Yeah,
something else. Be straightforward. I mean, if you have a project and it doesn't work out, you find a bump and it can't go through. Say it. Own it. People understand. Just don't steal people's money. All
true.
right. Second movie we have here it's Catch Me If You Can. Now, I personally love this movie. I remember watching it when I was a kid. I mean, yeah, it was younger. Um, and although it's a story of what not to do as as a young guy that wants to make it in the world, you can learn a little bit from The Hustle. It's DiCaprio. He's like actually a true story. Yeah, he's this young kid that starts falsifying checks, and he ends up becoming a pilot. He, I mean, without training, he becomes a lawyer without schooling. I think even like he starts working as a doctor, and he never went to school to become a doctor. And yeah, I think yeah, he got arrested in the end. The FBI was hunting him for years and years, and he was just falsifying his way through life. So of course it's a what not to do, but
Right.
the hustle, the thirst for success, to be someone, it was it's a good intention. I think it's a good yeah, good gasoline for your engine.
Yeah, I think this is the
Have you watched
whole
that one?
opposite of. No, I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember the movie at all. So
Yeah.
I I, I tend to confuse it with his other movie where he is a kind of a con artist as well, which is I think it's The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's Jordan Belfort story.
r-
Right, the
right.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's not it. Similar though.
So yeah. So
DiCaprio is a good guy
there's
playing liars. He's good
yeah
playing
he plays a good
fraud.
con man. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows if he plays a certain president in the future?
Oh my
Let's
God.
see.
All right. All right. Well, that would be a second Oscar for him probably.
Yeah. So definitely, like a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome where they don't feel adequate for what they do. Then you have these guys who go through all their life just conning people and pretending to
Right.
be someone they're not. It's crazy. I
Right.
think we have to meet in the middle, right? To be
Mm-hmm.
a great entrepreneur. So you
I
you
agree.
have to you don't have to um, fake it till you make it, but just fake it till you can do enough to actually
Right.
learn it. Although not be
Right.
afraid of doing things.
And this guy played the system too, because it happened years ago when it was easier to falsify checks, and I think he even was printing money or something like that. Things that you really can't do anymore. They have learned. I mean, the world has learned from guys like that, and they've made it harder to falsify things and falsify, uh, you know, uh, documents and stuff. But he played the system. He found the cracks in the system, and he just went through it. So that's important too. I mean, if you find something you can do better, you can be smarter than your competition or whatever. Do it. I mean, if you
Yeah,
if you
as
lose,
long
you lose, but
as,
you tried.
as long as it's legal, right?
Oh,
We're,
right,
we're
right,
all
yeah.
about
No, I
we're all
I
about
mean, if it's legal,
grind. We're all about the hustle and the grind, but in a legal way.
right? We're not telling you
don't
guys
fal-
to falsify
don't falsify
checks.
checks.
No,
Don't falsify
no,
checks.
don't do that. Don't do that.
It's not the way to do it. All right, what's the next movie?
Lord of War, another what not to do movie, and yet you can learn from it. This one is Nicolas Cage. He's an immigrant that starts selling illegal drug. Sorry, no drugs, weapons. Starts selling guns and weapons to small wars and around the world. And the whole movie is him debating with the morality of what he's doing. He's giving this weapons really cheap, and he knows he's funding a war and he's funding killing, and he's debating himself between what I'm doing, how that lifestyle starts soiling his personal life and his family. I think it's a good movie if you are uh, wanting to make it in probably an industry that is do you call it? I mean, this guy was an immigrant, right? Like what he was doing, he couldn't really be too open about it, and sometimes you get involved with I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to with this. Like I don't know if I can put it into words, but um, if you are dealing with a very complicated industry where you're in danger, a lot of danger in it. I mean, probably you're dealing with other people's money, banking, uh, law, a lot of things. Like I mean, we work in marketing and advertising. It's fairly non-dangerous, right?
Right. Right.
You're not playing with people's money. And this guy, he really had to learn how to build customer loyalty and stuff like that. I think those techniques that he uses and trying to be himself while the whole business is pulling him to be someone he's not, to be a liar and a cheater and all that. You can learn from that. I
Yeah,
think we can learn from that.
I read that it shows a lot of the risk tolerance that he had. So that's a trait that every entrepreneur obviously needs.
Mhm.
There's a lot of risks, just the same or more amount of rewards and risk because you can fail or you can succeed.
Right. Yeah.
it's day and
Yeah.
night.
He made a lot of
So
money and he made a lot of enemies too. And he made a
mm,
lot of mistakes. His life was in danger, but he wanted money. you know.
right.
So
So yeah, risk tolerance.
it's not easy.
If you can't stomach hard deals and dealing with difficult people, then probably you should get a different job. But if you
Right.
want to, succeed in entrepreneurship, definitely you
Right.
have to stomach a lot of things that are not very, you know, they're not very good at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Find your path too. Find your path because you want to you want to make money. That's your goal. You can be a good surgeon and make good money. You can be a corporate lawyer and make millions a year. But if you don't have the skills to do that, then you will be miserable. Yeah, you're making money, but you will be miserable. You're gonna hate your life, not
Yeah,
your bank account, but your life. So find your path. Do something you're passionate about, and you'll make money somehow because you're good at it. So the
exactly.
next movie is Wall Street. Have you seen that one? The classic.
I can't say I've seen it. I know
Okay,
I read Charlie Sheen is on it, but I haven't seen it.
right. So classic Wall Street with Charlie Sheen and this other guy. What's his name? Catherine Zeta-Jones' husband or something, or ex. I don't remember. Um, but again, money hungry, young guy in New York in Wall Street, uh, adopting the mantra "greed is good." And again, I mean, it's a must watch for anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur because you learn, about corporate finance. Let me see here. The list says corporate finance, portfolio management, investment law principles, and capital markets. So it's a complicated, profound, realistic movie. And you mentioned The Wolf of Wall Street earlier, and it compares it to The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, the same subject. But if you thought that movie was a bit too much, this is a tamer, more socially critical version. Um, so yeah, we recommend it.
Cool. What's the next one?
Other one here, it's I'm looking for one I've watched. Okay, the Godfather trilogy. You see any of them or all of them?
And I was a couple of years ago. Yeah, I remember a
Right.
few key scenes, but not the whole trauma.
Yeah, yeah. The Godfather. It's I mean, it's a classic for a reason. Um, I think uh, the best elements in these movies that I think we should learn from. I mean, we're talking about the mob. They're violent. They're liars. You can't trust them. I mean, that's not what we want to take from the movie. But the whole thing about dealing with competition, I think that's important. You have to accept that people will want to do what you do better than you. People want to have your. I mean, these guys were dealing with drugs and weapons and stuff, and they have their other mob families that wanted their territory. Well, competition cannot be better than you. If they're providing something better, you are losing. So dealing with competition, absorbing it, filtering it, and using it for the better of your business, the betterment of your product is important. And also becoming the competition. Something sometimes we forget, like, oh, we have all this competition. How can we make it better? How can we make it better for ourselves? But how can we make it harder for them? That's important too.
Yeah.
Becoming that power hungry wolf is important too. For example, like I spend too much time sometimes admiring what people do, admiring their creations and their ideas, and I forget to okay, how can I do that better? How can I offer that as well? And get in the game. Something we can learn from this movie. That whole mindset of competing every day.
Hmm. Yeah, I think another lesson we can learn from The
Mhm.
Godfather is, surrounding yourself with people that compensate what you lack. Because he couldn't do everything, even though he was
Right,
powerful, influential, but he had a lot of key relationships, especially the ones that were loyal to him, and
right,
that's how he could get things done. So never go at it alone. There's a lot of people out there that you can partner up with. You can find a mentor. Just be around people. I heard something today from an episode of Gary V, Marketing for the Now, where he
hmm,
says that you should associate with people that are successful in the environment or the industry or the position that you want to be in.
hmm.
So if you associate with them and you learn from them and you make yourself available to them and provide them value somehow, that'll help you, grow. So I think that's also a
Right,
key lesson there.
right. The whole family thing too, like that bond of family. Probably you won't
Mhm.
have a family business, and you won't run them up with your family. But if you treat your coworkers and the people you do business with like family, you build that
Right.
trust, and you really fight to not break it. You actually, if you're willing to lose some money, maybe, so you can retain a client, retain a partner, and enjoy what you're doing. It's a risk worth taking because family family is everything, like the mob would say.
Yeah.
All right, we have The Devil Wears Prada. I know you've seen this one.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
my type of movie.
What do you think about it?
Well, one thing that I really like about that movie is it gives you a little bit of access to what goes behind the scenes on a type of a media brand as that
Mhm.
was. And also, one thing I learned from it is that you need criticism in order to grow and to get better at who you are,
Right.
or what you do, and you have to be able to handle it and not take it personally. I think that's one of the key things about that movie. That even criticism may come in the form of yelling. It may come in the form of a review. Uh, Anything, but you have to take every opportunity to see where you can grow, what you can learn from it, and not take it personally.
Right, right. One thing I can learn from the character of Anne Hathaway, I forgot the name of the character, but I know her because I like her. It's that hard work pays off eventually, and she was so absorbed with the the need to please her boss that she neglected everything else in her life. Her boyfriend, her friends, her personality, her lifestyle, everything changed when she started that job. And although we always talk about grinding and sacrificing a lot of things you probably enjoy for your job, do not change who you are. Do not neglect your family, your relationships. It's not worth it because even if you are having success one way, you're gonna be empty. She was empty. She knew uh, she was building nothing because she every time she did something good, she could do it better. Her boss had a
Right.
negative comment about it, right? So she never felt like she was enough, while she was enough for the people in her life. That's something we have to remember, every one of us. I mean, if you love your job, love it enough, but don't love it too much. Love your family more.
That's sound advice. All right, what's the next movie that every entrepreneur should watch?
Another classic here, Glengarry Glen Ross. Now, I saw this movie a long time ago. I cannot remember it very well. I should watch it again, but we recommend it. It's in the list. So, yeah, I've heard about it. I mean, a lot. People reference it a lot. So, yeah,
Yeah, I think
watch it.
here the little brief about the movie, it says if you're starting a new business, be forewarned. Sometimes the road to success is far more sketchy than you think. It's not a straight path. Uh, there's a
Right.
lot of curves and hills and valleys. So yeah,
Oh, yeah. I remember something, the ABC. Remember that? I'll always be closing.
always be
Like
closing. Yeah,
they always lived. Uh,
I think every real estate person today lives by that saying.
always be closing. Right. So the only other one here that I know I saw it, I remember very well. Erin Brockovich. Saw that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think I watched it because my school wanted some like an essay written about it. It has
Mhm.
I think it has a real, a social message behind it. Social responsibility.
Right.
Nowadays, people love, or I think that's that's like the trend now. Sustainability and brands that are eco-friendly and care for the environment, and those are the ones that are poised to
Mhm.
grab more attention and more business down the road. So that's one of the
Right.
things that I think we learn a lot. That we have to. It doesn't matter what you do. Any brand must align with something that's good for the earth, for people in general, and you have to embrace that and associate yourself with the cause, and you will,
Right.
likely have people that are, have the same thought as you, and will see your
Definitely.
brand as relatable.
Hmm. Hmm. Good advice there too. So people watch that movie and learn from it. And lastly, we have The Founder. That's close to our heart. Everybody likes McDonald's, so The Founder is a movie about the guy that he didn't found McDonald's, although he's the founder. Right? He did it. Wait, wait. I know McDonald's already existed. He just uh,
Right.
pumped it
Yeah, he
up,
was
right?
he was a traveling salesman,
Mhm.
and the McDonald's brothers came up with the idea of streamlining the way you make burgers, and basically
Right, really quick
they
and yeah,
they created fast food, if we can,
right.
name it as something. They are the inventors of the real fast food, but then
Yeah.
they didn't know how to capitalize on it, how to do it in a profitable way, and this guy Ray A. Kroc, or Ray Kroc, he knew how to do it. He was a salesman, and he
Hmm.
envisioned
Hmm.
the bigger picture. He saw where it could go, and I think the one thing that you can learn from this is have everything in writing and protect your
Right,
PI,
right.
your IP, your intellectual property.
Definitely.
Sometimes is way more important than physical goods, than products.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
processes, ideas, and things that are on your mind, which you own. You must protect and secure that, because if not, somebody else comes in and takes and reaps all the benefits.
Yeah, exactly. And the guy, he really lived by the whole if you can't beat them, join them. He did both. He joined them and then he
And
he
then
just
yeah.
stole everything from them. I mean, this guy. But yeah, we can learn from his thirst for success. He changed America, like it says here. He changed the way America eats and the way America uh, sees food and fast food and rest stops and all that. McDonald's is everywhere. So yeah, another movie that is not here and I wanna talk about.
A
I want to
bonus
mention
movie.
it's the Social Network, the
Yeah.
Facebook movie. Yeah, this movie should be in this list, and it's not. That movie really teaches a lot about, I think, all the above, everything we talked about. That movie talks about having an idea and selling it and really working on it. Surrounding about yourself with people that you can trust, but also making sure they trust you. Because Mark Zuckerberg was not, he didn't have social skills. He was extremely smart. He had a great idea. He knew how to make it happen, but he was not good at keeping friends, right? So that's
Mm.
the whole idea of the movie. You can have, what was it? I think it's you can have 1,000 friends or something, and then 1,000. You can't make 100 friends without making a few enemies or something like that.
Yeah.
His success is based on actually the enemies he made. So yeah, I think that movie is pretty good. Do you like it? I'm pretty sure you saw it, right?
Yeah, definitely. It has a bit of obviously storytelling in it that they
Mm-hmm.
sprinkled on it. It's not an actual documentary, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it shows you that you can do things. You can create things from your dorm room, from your house. Like right now, most of us are working from home if we have an office job, and we can still create things. We can still.
Right.
It's a matter of focusing right on what we want to do, and I think it's crazy the impact that it has now. I was just reading a few minutes ago that I think 47 or 48 of the states are suing Facebook because
Really?
Facebook has an illegal monopoly. They say because they couldn't let competitors go up to their level. So most of the
Okay.
states are suing Facebook because of that, because they didn't give
Wow.
an opportunity to competitors. I think in the advertising arena, right? And that's obviously their business, their
Mm-hmm.
main source of
Mm-hmm.
income. So it's interesting.
Oops. I think we
Yep.
either lost Christian or you lost me.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
swiped. I hit the back button and I went out.
All
So
right.
yeah, I think it's interesting to see what happens with Facebook in the next coming months with that legal
Yeah.
battle that's going on.
Wow. Yeah, the big. I haven't heard of that. Great. So yeah, there you have it. A few movies you should watch if you have an idea that you want to make. Work it into a business. These movies are inspiring. They teach you a lesson. Most of them, you can find what to learn from all of them. But yeah, they're good. You can pause. We always try. We always find things to learn from either movies or TV shows. But sometimes it's a good exercise to pause when you are enjoying like a TV show and Mandalorian is the thing that's the big deal right now, and try to watch something that with the intent of learning from it, right? Watch
Mhm.
something with idea. I want to learn something from this. I want to take at least one thing. This is a good exercise to do at least once a month. Choose something that you should watch to learn something instead of just passing out on the couch drinking a beer.
Right.
Do that once in a while, and you'll find a few golden nuggets here and there. So that's the bard, the late grind promise.
Yeah,
Movies
definitely. All
movies
right.
are good. Are good.
So definitely a lot that we can learn even when we're entertaining uh, ourselves with movies, and instead of being watching, maybe learn from it and put something
Mhm.
in practice. All right, so that's it for today's episode. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for watching or listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.